Welcome to The Secrets of Success. By following the proven techniques of the guests who appear on this series, you'll learn that even successful people run into detours and failures, and how you can apply their success techniques to change your life.
You're now listening to the most unique show on radio, the show dedicated to making you a success. Is it time to reimagine your life? Today, Rosa Yordan will help you decide. Rosa, thanks for being with us.
Yes, hello, Bill.
Now, Rosa, your book is Reimagine Your Life, Dream Big.
The name of the book is Reimagine Your Life, 7 Secrets to Achieve Your Dreams.
Okay,
yes.
7 Secrets to Achieve Your Dreams. Well, we're going to start with you telling us, do most people fail to reimagine their life? Do they just kind of go with the current?
I would have to agree with you on that, yes, because people live day to day. And it's so easy to get caught up in daily life. You're going to work. If you have children, taking care of children, and maybe being able to plan a vacation sometime during the course of the year. And it's about survival, making money. And so in terms of having those goals and those dreams, sometimes it comes in their mind and says, oh, I wish I could do this. I would like to be successful. I would like to write a book. I would like to swim, take swimming lessons, and then it disappears. The thought disappears.
Now,
because all of us, yes. Mm-hmm.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Rosa. You begin the book early on, and there's a quote from Mark Twain. The 2 most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Tell our audience why you put that in there and what that means.
Okay. Well, the main reason why I put that in is, well, first of all, the fact that you're born. That's a great thing. We're all here on this planet with a purpose. Now, the reason why gets to be tricky because you have so many people that, once again, we get caught up in such the regular routine of life that we don't sit down to just maybe have a conversation with God, sit down and get into mindfulness so that we can just say, well, what is my purpose? What can I do? How can I help people? How can I better myself? And so if once we're able to do that, then life becomes more exciting. It becomes more accepting within ourselves, within our hearts, our minds, our souls. We can live a better life. But when we haven't discovered why, it lacks purpose. It becomes a monotonous type of a lifestyle. And so, like, for instance, when people come to me for life coaching, it's because they've reached that point where they say, you know something, I don't want to continue to live the way I'm living. There's something more to me. And that's when we penetrate through all of the different things in terms of their strengths, their weaknesses, and get into mindfulness and consciousness and just so many different things to help them to realize and to come to some type of understanding with who they are and what they are about.
Now, you begin the book with the first secret, and you say, identify your strengths. What type of answers do you get from people when you ask about their strengths?
Well, a lot of times people say, I'm friendly, I'm helpful, I'm nice, I'm responsible, I'm popular. Actually, that was the one that I used to say when I was a young girl. I was very popular. Yeah. Very popular person.
Well, that is a strength. I mean, some people are just gregarious. They're friendly. Yeah, if you're popular, you must reach out to people, be pleasant to be around. We don't want to be around the prunes of the group or the people we don't like. But what I found was interesting and something I've never seen anybody do before, you have people compare themselves, the young version of Rosa with Rosa today, or if we're doing me, it would be the young version of Bill. Why do you do that, and what information are you seeking?
Okay, so the whole thing is that when you're young, you have your initial, you gain your initial characteristics of who you are and what you are about. And it can be through meeting a stranger, an occasional stranger, the clergy, if you go to church, your teachers, and of course your parents. So those type of groups, they help you to develop in one way or another those characteristics. But then, like for me, for instance, I stated that I was very popular. As an adult, I'm not that popular anymore.
What changed?
And there are reasons. Yes, and there are reasons for that. Because as I became an adult, I more responsibilities. And for instance, like with my career, my new career in terms of being a life coach and motivational speaker, and also an author, I'm spending a lot of time with myself or with people who can help me in the particular area that I'm trying to strengthen myself within. And so as a result, I'm not like hanging out with my friends, going to the restaurants, going to different places, shows, parties. I'm not doing that like I used to. So that's the strength that I had in the past, but it's not dominant anymore because my focus is on me coaching, lifting people in that paradigm and that aspect.
Yep.
So for me personally, what I had to do, Bill, was say to my friends, I said, listen, I know that I'm always busy and I'm always like either doing interviews or doing speaking engagements or coaching or, whatever it is I'm doing. You have to please call me. You have to call me because it's not that I don't love you or I don't want to spend any time with you or, I'm saying this to my friends. And, but just make sure you get in touch with me so that, and understand the fact that I am busy. So that's what they do. They respect it.
Well, we want you good in your profession because, to be honest, when I go to the doctor, the dentist, or the accountant, I don't ask them if he or she is popular. I just want them to do a good job, and I'm sure that's what you do. So your profession comes first now.
Yes.
Now, Rosa, we'd like to let our audience know if you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Secrets of Success on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, and today our guest is Rosa Yordan. She's the author of Reimagine Your Life, 7 Secrets to Achieve Your Dreams. Rosa, where can we get the book, and is there a website where we can learn more?
Okay, well, the book can be purchased through Amazon, or you can go to my website where you will see my book as well as the different services like life coaching and motivational speaking, which is www.transformationplusinc.com. That's transformation, PLUSINC.com.
And we'll give that again if someone didn't get it, so you'll get the information if you want to learn more about Rosa, get together with her for some life coaching, or just read her book and improve your life. Now, Rosa, one of the secrets you talk about is to survey life's problems. And again, that's a little different. So always a new approach is different and something to wake us up. Why take a look at our problems, and when someone fills out that list for you, what do you get out of that if their problems have changed from the young Rosa to the older Rosa, or to use a fictional person, Sam and Jennifer?
Well, what happens is that, as I'm going to talk about it from the adult paradigm right now, what happens is that we cannot move forward in terms of advancing if we have problems that we're dealing with, if we have fears of failure, fear of even being successful, if we're not brave, and if we don't feel that we can be engaged. So those type of things, when people speak with me about any of those type of situations, then I'm able to say, okay, this is what we need to work on. I see that you have a fear of speaking with people in general. You basically are a person who you say very little, and people are the ones that are running your life based on what you told me. And so then the whole thing is that we have to do a little bit of role playing, and I have to listen and let the person explain more in terms of what it is that they want to do, or what is it that they did. And then it's interesting because I'm going back to the role modeling again, the role modeling in terms of the fact that here it is there a person in your life that you see that you would like to be similar to?
Now, Rosa, that leads us to a good next question. You talk about role models. Can you explain to our audience how that's to be used, and who would be a good role model for someone? Are we looking for someone we see on TV? And I'm not talking about just the most famous actress or the most handsome rock and roll star or TV star, but are we looking for someone there? Are we looking for the principal of the school or the local banker or the doctor in town? Who are we looking for as a role model that would help us? And how do we use that information?
Well, to some level, I'm going to actually say anybody who's of value, who seems very appropriate in their mannerisms and what they are about. Someone who's affirmative, who's going to affirm them, who affirms themselves, or you can see in their body language that they have a positive feeling of self. That's the type of person. It doesn't have to be, because we have role models all around us. I mean, of course, you can name television role models like Oprah, the Obamas, you know what I'm saying, Gandhi, Mandela. Yeah, so these are role models that are the phenomenal ones. You know what I'm saying? That you see or you hear about them or you read about them. But it could be your parents. It could be that uncle. It could be abuela, grandma. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Those grandmas are good role models. They're usually very good role models. And also, I think, perhaps our first role model that we start out with and trusting and leaning on most of the time. Uh-huh. Now, when we go from that, you tell us to look into a self-discovery check. What is a self-discovery check?
Okay, I had self-discovery checks throughout the book. And the purpose of the self-discovery check is for the person to along the way check how their stress level is. Because if you are very stressed and you're trying to accomplish a goal, it's not going to happen. If your energy level is very low and you're like, oh, I'm feeling weak and I'm down and out, and you're trying to accomplish something that's where you're going beyond what you already know and do, it's not going to happen. So what happens is that I even state within those stress level and energy level checkpoints, if your level is not up to a certain par that I state, like if you don't have a 7 or higher, at 7 out of 10 or higher in an energy level, I ask you to stop. Stop what you're doing.
What's
Take
that?
time. Mm-hmm.
No, it's you give us numbers to work with, which is good, because I think we all have to grade ourselves at some point, and sometimes we don't want to, but having you as a coach or nearby would make it a little easier, and to know whether we're pushing the envelope a little bit too much on one direction or the other. We want to find out more how to reimagine our lives, but at this point in the show, we want to take a brief break. I'm Bill Horan. Today, our guest is Rosa Yordan. She's talking about her book, Reimagine Your Life. You're listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. We'll be right back after the break.
90.3 WHPC reminds you that every hiring manager knows that a company is only as good as the people it's made from. So where do you find the best people? That may surprise you. Meet the Grads of Life, young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you're typically looking for, but they're exactly who your company needs. This is talent worth knowing about. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council, gradsoflife.org, and the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Secrets of Success on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, and today our guest is Rosa Yordan. She's the author of Reimagine Your Life. Rosa, you mentioned in your book that the key is positive thinking. Now, for some people, that seems easy. We all have that friend that's very positive, and you like to be around them, and they're chipper, and they're seemingly happy all the time without being overly giddy or silly. But for most of us, how do we do that? How do we keep that positive attitude? Because, we do have problems. We're worried about a bill coming in. We're worried about our own medical issues, perhaps a mother or sister who's not feeling well. So how do we keep that positive attitude primary in our lives?
Well, I mean, what you're saying is 100% true, that we all go through stuff, issues and whatever. But the whole point is that, and we cannot always be positive, and that's one of the reasons for doing the self-discovery check. But in reality is that when you have that gusto attitude, that I'm going to use this term, I can, I will, that is what will help you to transcend, to move from one level of what it is that you're trying to accomplish into the next level. So it's that determination. It's that all of the positive sets of words. Sometimes you have to say, I am confident I can do this. I am creative. I am unstoppable. Those type of words, and I'm driven. So when you feel that from within, and as you're dealing with any type of blockages that come your way, it's almost like as if you can kind of dust them away, dust them off.
Kind of like a mantra to keep reminding us.
Yes.
And do you find that works with people? Because I was going to ask you, are there any tricks that, and I like that as a little reminder, because we go through the day and things are going to happen, even if it's just someone, a slight thing. They take our favorite parking space, or we didn't get the file we wanted, now we have to work on something else. Does it help to just keep repeating a certain saying, or snap a rubber band on our wrist or something?
Well, what happens is it's always to keep in mind that we are wonderful, talented, responsible, helpful, thoughtful people. And sometimes things do happen. And if some people, they need to use a rubber band, I'm not going to discourage them from using it. That I won't. But the whole thing is, I'm going to tell you a little story. I remember one time I had to see my boss, and he called me, and it was like, did something bad happen, right? Am I on the red carpet? I'm not the red carpet, but the other carpet.
The other carpet, right.
because I've been on the red carpet, but that's for the nice stuff, but the other carpet. And so what happened is that, okay, so now I had my briefcase and I'm going to get ready to go to the office to speak with him. And Bill, let me tell you, before I did that, I took a few deep breaths. I just inhaled and exhaled a few times. And then I said, Rosa, no matter what, you are an educator. You are fantastic. You are. So I affirmed myself. So then when I approached him, and I didn't come from that other type of attitude, that negative, that woe is me, that oh, this is the end of the world type of thing. And let me tell you, whatever it was, it went through very smoothly.
And Rosa, what you say, we hear that, and we've been on over 30 years now. We hear that from a lot of people. So it's not just an idea that you're putting out there. Champions, winners, the people who get ahead, the most successful people do that. They keep that positive attitude, and sometimes they have to talk to themselves and just remind themselves, I am really good at this. I am a master teacher. They might feel they're not, but I mean, if they've been in a school for 10 years, they probably are a very good teacher. And just because someone questions them, okay, they're entitled to question and have an opinion, but that doesn't mean they're any less of a teacher or can't do the job. Rosa, at this point in the show, once again, we want to remind our audience that you're listening to The Secrets of Success on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, but the important person we're talking to today is Rosa Yordan, spelled Yordan. The title of her book is Reimagine Your Life, and that's something we could all do. Rosa, tell us where we can get the book and if there's a website where we can get more information.
Okay, so the website is www.transformationplusinc.com. That's www.transformationplusinc.com, or you can get it on Amazon.
Easy enough.
Oh, and I have to say one more thing, Bill. As of this morning, it became an audio book.
Oh, that's great, because I think a lot of people, sometimes they're busy, they want to put that on, hear a book, and kind of build themselves up. And I encourage everybody, I love audiobooks. If you don't like to read, you don't have time to read, you can put this on while you're doing the dishes, carpentry work, working around the house, going out for a walk.
Wait, hold up, Bill.
Okay.
Hold up 1 second. The book you cannot listen to the book while you are doing any type of, while you're driving, or if you're using any type of machinery of any sort, because there are parts of the book where I'm asking you to relax.
Okay.
Close your eyes. So that
I always close my eyes when I'm driving. That means drivers get out of the way in front. But no, you make a very good point there. And if you're going to take some time out to think and follow Rosa's directions, then don't be driving the car and don't be using machinery. Don't take my advice. Take Rosa's advice. She's the expert on this. Now, Rosa, we want to get, while we have you here, some more information about the book and some directions. You talk about envisioning your dreams. Well, we all have dreams, and let's just take a vacation house someplace. How do we do that the right way? I know there's right and wrong ways to do it. How do you tell people to envision their dreams?
Well, I get into a mindfulness type thing. So I'm asking people to close their eyes, and I ask them to take deep breaths. And after that, then whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish, I ask them to envision themselves actually accomplishing that goal. And I ask them, how do they feel? What are they doing? What are they wearing?
Now,
what are they saying if they're talking with someone else? So there's different things that I'm putting them in a certain type of. That I'm creating the scenery that I would like. It's not my scenery, but their scenery. and what it is that it could be something where they're writing, that they want to write a book, or it could be something where someone, it could be any type of scenario that they want to go on this dream vacation. Let's say, for instance, if you're writing a book, what are you thinking? What does it look like? Where are you at where you're writing this book? Is anyone with you? You know what I'm saying? Who are the people that are involved in helping you with the process? Those type of questions. Or if it's like a vacation trip of a lifetime, where is this place? What does it look like? What are you wearing? Are you dancing? You know, that type of a thing.
You've got me thinking about all my goals after saying that. You've got me thinking about them and getting excited about them again, because I think we put them off or in the background a little bit because we do, as you said before, the day-to-day stuff. But
yes.
If we start thinking of it that way, who's going to be part of it? Who will be with me at the vacation house? What color will it be? Mm-hmm. What season? It does get you into that mode and move you forward. How about a vision board? Tell us how to use a vision board, because that's one of my favorite things.
Well, you know something, a vision board is interesting, because what you do is I'm asking you to write down on this vision board your order of these value words. And I have a few. I have actually 6 value words. And
what are those value words?
Okay, there's career, family, health, integrity, relationships, and spirituality. So now, that's one of the things that I feel must come first. What is it? What's your priority? You know, and at different phases in our lives, the priorities can change. You know, because your priority at some point, let's say for older people, older adults, it may be more towards health. Whereas when they were younger, they worked. So it would have been careers. You know what I'm saying?
No, a very good point.
So, you know, what do you value most at this particular point in your life?
Rosa, one of the things I value now, unfortunately, because we have time limitations, is that we wrap up the show in a timely fashion. So we're going to have to cut you off a little bit, but before we do, we want our audience to know that our guest today has been Rosa Yordan. Her book is Reimagine Your Life, 7 Secrets to Achieve Your Dreams. And the website, once again, Rosa?
www.transformationplusinc.com. That's transformationplusinc.com.
Thanks so much for being with us today. We'd like to remind our audience that you've been listening to The Secrets of Success on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, asking you to please join us again next week at the same time when we will continue our journey to success.